Hello and welcome to The Patch. That's the show we're on, right?
Yes.
I always have to keep track because it's hard.
Look at our set today.
It doesn't. Well, it's down there though. You can't read it.
Well, it doesn't have to have words on it. This is the only show we shoot on this
Free
set.
play, I can turn around. I'm like, oh, I'm on free play right now. That's how sad my life is right now. I don't know where I am half the time.
Are you on lights or are you on bricks, Ryan?
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
The other set is blue with bricks on it. This one is like
set, yeah.
This is like the 80s version of a spaceship.
This is we're Team Sleepy today. We're allowed it.
Team
You guys are sleepy.
The Patch brought to you today by Lynda.com and Casper. I remember this time. Look, I'm even going to remember to flip this.
Hey.
I'm remembering everything.
We should keep you sleeping more often.
Maybe or not sleeping more often.
Yeah.
It's really like old school. Just had baby time at home right now with sick kids. So.
But not new babies that we haven't heard about, right?
No, God, no. No. As far as I'm aware.
I was really worried that you'd gotten super busy.
I just slipped another one in there, yeah. That extra kid that no one saw coming. Well, today we're going to talk about news, sort of, because there's not any.
Well, there's not a lot of news, but what there is pretty interesting.
Okay, good.
First of all,
discussion points.
First of all, we're going to have, no games this holiday. All right, I'm going to pull up a list of what's
going to
be.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
So many games.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Don't.
What's happened?
The Xenoblade people will get you.
Through the camera?
I was like, first-party Nintendo titles. Xenoblade is produced by Monolith, which is a subsidiary of Nintendo. It's not technically a first-party title.
It's second-party, but at this,
Is it like Kissing Cousins kind of
thing? I
thing?
call it a moral gray area,
no?
but I didn't consider it a first-party title, and the Xenoblade people were up my ass.
Like the actual Xenoblade people, or the people that are fans of Xenoblade?
Well, people who are looking. Yeah, no, not Monolith doesn't give a shit about me. Let's be real.
But that just makes me think, for example, Naughty Dog. They
right.
They
We don't call it
PlayStation.
Sony. We call it Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
It's not Sony's. Uncharted. It's Naughty Dog.
Look, they're exclusive for the time being, but
it
they
doesn't
could
matter.
play the field if they wanted to.
Exclusive does not mean first party. They're
True.
not the same thing.
Absolutely true.
So.
But I think Naughty Dog's games are actually published by Sony, aren't they?
Right. So are Monoliths. They're published by Nintendo, but they're developed by Monolith.
Okay, so we're going with second party, but I'm going to give us a pass. Watch this. Nintendo has done such an amazing job of focusing on their first party lineup that when we see a Nintendo game that's got some profile, et cetera, we just think first party.
Well, but here's the thing is I went in the
Did I do
opposite
okay?
direction,
Yeah.
but I did the opposite of that. I didn't consider it a first-party title.
You considered it full third party.
Technically it's not, so suck it, Xenoblade people.
Yeah.
Look, we can justify whatever direction we want to.
What would you like us to
Well,
defend? We're all on the bandwagon. Let's do it.
Well, what I was saying is with Star Fox canceled to...
Not canceled.
I mean, not canceled, I'm sorry, delayed.
It's canceled
People
out of the
all
year.
over the world just
Delayed.
went...
Oh, they don't...
No, they
nobody's
didn't.
coming to
Nobody
me for
did
whether
that.
or not Star
Five
Fox
people just went...
delayed.
Hi, guys.
Delayed to next year. The only first-party titles coming from Nintendo this holiday are Yoshi's Woolly World, which is out everywhere else in the U.S. or everywhere else in the world except for the U.S. And
it looks so cute.
It's so cute. I know.
Oh my god, the giant woolly Yoshi amiibo. I don't do amiibo, but I want that because I want a giant
It's so
woolly
cute.
Yoshi.
I
When you
know.
say giant, what do you mean giant?
He's like this big for an amiibo.
that's an
he's big.
amiibo?
Yeah, he's like a special edition. giant
Amiibo are
one.
like this big, so when
Yeah.
you get one that's this big,
big.
you get really excited.
Aren't you supposed to put that on your
Well, it has, I'm sure it
Wii
still
or
has
DS and
yeah,
thing?
like you don't just sit it
put
there
it right
I'm
forever.
gonna just crush everything that... That's how did you lose your DS? Well, I crushed it with a woolly Yoshi.
I don't think it's that heavy or hefty. Anyway, the only other one besides
primordial,
Yoshi's
come on.
Woolly World is Animal Crossing something that's not that exciting.
Oh, Happy Home Designer.
Home
Okay.
Designer.
So Nintendo actually sent me a copy and I started playing. When you played Animal Crossing, you haven't played Animal Crossing. Do you have any idea what we're talking about? Ryan?
There's
Get bells.
you have animals and
Okay.
bells, and they cross, and sometimes you build houses
Okay, so
and raid others for fruit.
for Ryan's benefit,
You
so
burn other farms.
like general Animal
Really?
Crossing, I think.
Oh,
No. Look how excited Ryan got about burning their farms.
I've been hunting.
You're not allowed to come into Animal Crossing until you're not excited
I'm
about
not
it.
welcome there. They have my picture on the wall.
Yeah, you're just banned. There's the train station where you can go from one town to another, and your face is just like right up
You're
there.
a
Do
little
not let
Animal
this
Crossing
crazy in.
bandito.
They won't let me buy it either.
But it's an open world-ish sandbox game. You move into a village, and then you can do whatever you like. You can redecorate your house. You can do fishing or collect fruit, all that sort of stuff. Happy Home Designer is like the game without all of that stuff, but you can redecorate homes to your heart's content. So it's like there's that subset of the Animal Crossing audience that just wanted to upgrade the home. Well, to be fair, everyone upgraded the home because that's all you had to spend money on. But it's for the people that just want that part of the game.
Wait, so
it's homes. You just decorate all the homes.
Did they get rid of the money part of it? Do you just have unlimited funds to build whatever you want?
I've only played a bit of it, so I've redesigned a couple of houses. All my clients were very happy.
Well, you have
other people.
clients.
So they're
It's
for other
people.
people.
Yes.
Oh.
So you are a new home designer, like an interior decorator, and the client will say, "I want my home to be lovely," or "I really like books and I'd like to be surrounded by them." And then you decorate the house, which is typically like. So far, at least, I imagine that I'm going to get to the point where I get a whole manor to work with. But at the moment, I'm working with individual, like, one-room apartments,
Oh, you're
like
just getting
studios.
the rooms. Okay.
And,
Studios.
and
nice.
then build, like, decorating everything to what you think the client would like, while also going, yes, I approve of this. And then you go, you happy? You're not happy. And then they're going to report to your boss.
What a real estate
okay,
market this
excuse
must
me.
be.
It's
Hold on.
crazy.
You got
Exactly style savvy, but with homes.
You've got studio apartment people that can afford interior designers? I
Absolutely.
spot a flaw.
It's Los Angeles, okay?
Okay.
Everyone has studios.
I mean, and also these one-room studio apartments are standalone houses.
Yeah.
It's a freestanding one room.
It's a really,
fiction,
really
Ryan.
Trailer
Ryan,
home.
it's a really open floor plan, okay? It's a really open
yeah,
floor
it
plan.
sounds like you're working in the trailer park of Animal Crossing
How
Town.
dare you? I really enjoyed Style Savvy, by the way. That's what that made me think of.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm looking for a hip outfit. And then you'd make like the hip outfit. And it'd be like, awesome. That was
Yep.
it.
So it's I don't know how much I'm really gonna get out of the game because the decorating of the houses in Animal Crossing was one of the things I spent the least amount of time doing.
interesting.
I used my house like a storage thing, like those little quapple things that go like tick and make little noises. I was seeing them like little living rain sticks. I just would like pile them up against the walls, and that's about it.
Okay, so you didn't even run even that into the decorating part of it.
No, but I will say this: so far, my clients have been very happy.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I've had a very good time not having to save up and pay Tom Nook off. You basically just joined Tom Nook's mafia. By the way, you're working for him now.
Yeah, there's a great Starbomb song about Tom Nook and how mafia he
And
is.
his mafia.
yeah.
because
for-
you take out a
you,
loan
right.
from him when you join the
Ooh.
Animal Crossing world.
like you
owe him
get
bells.
the house, but you
This is getting
owe
deeper.
him.
I'm starting to get intrigued.
he's like your banker. So
Oh yeah, no, he's your friendly neighborhood
He's-
banker.
he's
You
no
know,
big
he
deal.
deals in
Banker.
small clients,
No
but
big
large
deal.
sums with no questions asked.
Yeah, he's your banker and your construction guy. So like he'll build
Of course he
you
is.
an expansion or extension or additional room, whatever, and
Don't
then
you
have
worry
to
about
pay
it.
him back.
I got a guy.
He's a good fella.
Don't worry about it.
You are
He's a real good fella.
Animal Crossing is the story of being eternally in debt to a raccoon.
It's actually about capitalism.
This is what a weird deep hole that is dug. That's about capitalism, mafia, construction,
And the collection of exotic fruit.
Yes.
and rain sticks that are
The
semi-animate.
fruit, no, the fruit represents the American dream, which nobody can ever fully grasp, even though they try really, really hard.
And you can only get 3 per tree.
Yeah.
So is it a game or
Because
a
you only get
lecture?
so many choices so many chances in your life to achieve the American dream, really.
Is that legitimately what the
yeah.
game is?
No, that's what they made it for. That was like, there was like a whole expose about that's what it was about.
All right, cool.
Ryan, are you really
Sounds-
buying it? I think I would like to think
Damn
there's
it.
at least 5% of you that was like, oh fuck, good on you, Animal Crossing.
I liked it. I was just waiting for this like this.
You had me. I was completely on board because I know nothing about the game. I'm like, all right, sure, that's all right.
That should be a new
That can
patch
be a
segment.
thing.
Make Ryan believe shit about games he doesn't know anything
I
about.
just like the idea that we can pull the wool over someone's eyes on a topic that they actually don't know anything about.
Yeah, way to go,
Yeah.
guys.
We
so
did it.
good.
Got him. It's fun to fool the completely ignorant.
Bring in your toddler. We'll get him next.
Hey, I am bringing my toddler in. You be nice.
I'm gonna take care of him.
Yeah, you got to bring him in.
Well, her actually, Olivia.
Olivia's coming
Yeah,
in.
Olivia
You're
will
not
be
going to
in.
bring both of them in?
No, Eli will be at school.
Eli's too old for. He's doing his own thing.
Well, maybe we can get him sick and then he can come in too.
Oh, he is sick
right
now.
There we go. He shouldn't be.
What are you doing to
anyway.
me? Stop casting evil upon my family.
I know too much about your family. I
You
keep
do.
answering all the family questions before you do. No, he is bringing them in. Liv's schedule says she's going to be in today. Also, it says I forgot to get the eyeliner off my hand. That's disgusting. Whoops.
Yeah, my hand is always like half covered in makeup.
Whoops.
Oh well.
Mine are
about
good.
yours?
I've got a birthmark though.
Okay, well, that was
Does that count?
Congratulations.
Ryan's
Well done.
share
you know
time.
what? I've got a birthmark too, but it's like it's different. It's white.
I have one on my arm. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, you two are cool, and I've got the
Left-handed
hand one.
people.
Mine, it's just like like an activation button for some kind of superpower, like beep, and then I
have-
turn
I have
into a
one of
Power
those
Ranger.
on my hip, but so
Okay, it
far
looks like a turkey or
transformation's not
Alaska
working.
if you want to get that close to
You know,
it.
you just had like one black hair near it, and I was wondering if it was coming out of it. But
No.
Ew,
it's
gross.
not. No, it's
Ryan,
fine.
what
It's just
kind of like
weird.
you're a wreck.
I got hairs
You're
everywhere.
A mess.
Yes.
Look at all these.
I
I have some here too.
oh yeah, just like a nice curl though.
Really?
Okay,
nice
yeah.
Like
curl.
one like curly Q
Oh,
on
yeah.
the chest.
Yeah, I've got a couple that do that.
Curly Q.
They kind of they get all permed under the shirt there, and then it's like
You gotta fluff them out.
Perm,
yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to kind of comb them and
Anyway,
Sleeper hit.
I mostly like the idea of him just like using like little rollers. And they're like, yeah, get curly.
Give his chest hair a Jerry curl. That would be pretty funny.
This is what happens when there's no gaming news. We talk
know.
about chest hair.
I know.
Nice.
Well, yeah, but it's your chest hair, so people will care.
Hey, you know what
so
else?
what's the
you know what else is delayed?
what's up?
What?
That's
Oh
what I
my
was
God.
going to ask
So-
for the full rundown of the delayed titles as
Hitman
it
and Need for
stands.
Speed.
This is the
Yeah.
weirdest
Hitman, Need
thing.
for Speed, Star Fox,
Yeah, which we talked about. But
XCOM 2.
Hitman is weird because I want to talk about. We should talk about the release
It's the
schedule
weirdest
thing, right?
release. I mean, yeah, like here, I was really hoping when I heard that it got delayed, I was like, oh, great, that means that they decided not to do their funky release plan.
Yes.
And they're going to finish the game before they release it. Nope. They
Still
delayed it.
thing.
It's still not going to be finished.
All right, so
And they
explain
said-
it. How's the release going to work?
Go ahead.
So it's coming out, it'll release, and then it'll be part of the game. And then they'll release some more of the game. And then they'll release some more of the game. But don't go thinking that that's episodic.
No, because
Because
it
it's
won't
not.
be.
It's just not finished.
Yeah, it won't be in specific time like increments, and you don't have to buy any of the additional stuff. It's just more as they finish it, which sounds more like early access. But then they also said it's not early access.
They insist it's not because early access implies like testing an unfinished product, but they say that no, each part will be very polished when it comes out. So it's totally not early access.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say that doesn't sound like early access. It does sound, I mean, early access, as they said, it does sort of imply that it is an unfinished, in development, more malleable type of software. So if they're not planning on readdressing anything in the released parts,
Right.
then it definitely sounds, their footing for not episodic sounds a little shaky.
Very shaky.
Other than they're just saying, you'll get it whenever you get it. That sounds worse than
You'll get
episodic.
it. It's very telltale with like the you'll get it whenever you
Yeah.
get it, but you don't have to buy it. It comes with your purchase. But the game itself, you get the game on day one. It is only what they are calling quote unquote a good chunk of the game. So you can't even finish like the story, assumedly. They haven't refuted that at all. So I would assume because they haven't come out and said, no, you'll be able to play a complete story and this will be added stuff, you will not be able to complete the story day one.
Well, would that be better or worse, do you think? Because let's say you could do beginning to end, and it was just a lot of the side stuff, like maybe it's got optional things or side stories that are not required.
Well, see, then I would almost think of it more along the lines of free DLC or
Yeah.
expansions
Yeah.
or something like that to build on and keep you playing in the world. If you can't even finish the story, well, that's straight up episodic,
It's
right?
it's very strange. And also they said in their announcement that it was delayed. They were like, yeah, the game's delayed. It's a really hard decision, but we're actually going to give you more of the good chunk now. So it's actually a positive that it's delayed.
I mean, the only
Give me
reason,
the whole fucking game, man.
The only
if
reason
you're-
to do that it would be to get it out early.
Right.
Yep.
But they're not.
Nope.
So what are they doing with the delay? Is it polishing?
Well, they said it's because they've made this game too big. The massive scale of the game is too much to handle. And to show off the massive scale of the game, they showed the biggest level from Hitman Absolution in comparison to one of the areas, Paris, in this new Hitman. And it's 6 times larger than the largest level of any of their previous games. But a lot of people actually in the comments were bringing up good points. It has 300 contract kills or potential contract kills where there were 50 in the Hitman Absolution level. But some people
300?
were 300 possible
Oh,
targets.
you can kill a lot of people.
Wow.
And there's 1,300 more NPCs in this new level than there were in the largest level of Hitman Absolution, which a lot of people are bringing up. That's not what you want from a Hitman game.
Right.
Like, you want to be able to kind of give you this like shove in a general direction so you can like focus in. You don't have to be wading through millions of people to figure out what you're supposed to be doing.
Right. The fun of Hitman is trying to traverse a level and do it the way you want to do it, use the multiple paths available, and get to your target. Right.
Not a million paths.
Right. The pull for Hitman isn't necessarily that it's open world-ish.
Yeah,
I could see that be a direction for that game, though. I mean, that was...
It is an evolution for sure.
It is. I mean, sort of the promise of Hitman was the idea that you could accomplish the goal in... frequently, it's like whatever way you can think of, there are tools around that will allow you to do that. Granted, the last time I played Hitman was a couple titles ago, so I know that frequently there'd be a multi-options for how you killed someone. So if you pitch it to me as like open world, assassination, lots of options, lots of different things you could do, that doesn't sound bad.
Sounds like Assassin's Creed.
It does sound a lot like Assassin's Creed, but
And Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed has never really been that nuanced, though. It's like, all right, you found the guy, now stab him.
Well, Hitman, to be fair, and I will say, much to the chagrin of Gavin, who is a huge Hitman fan, the last Hitman I played was Hitman 2, which he thinks is the worst of all of them, and I thought it was a great game. But there were times where there's one where you're like in Russia, and you get to a room, and it's like, all right, it's one of these dudes, and that's the only choice you have is like, am I going to shoot the right person, not how am I going to accomplish this goal? You're going to shoot him from across the way, and then you're going to walk really slowly to your next thing. That's it. That's all you're going to do. Also, I reached out to Gavin because he was on a business trip. This is how couples communicate in the new age. And I said, I have some bad news. I'll throw this text message to you guys. I took a screenshot. Hitman delayed. No. March of 2016. No. So that is from a direct Hitman fan.
If he was really up with the internet and all those sorts of things, wouldn't he just send you the Star Wars?
Yeah, definitely a Darth Vader gif, at least. I'm sending this to you, Muriel, in case you'd like to put it in the link dump. I meant to put it in my story yesterday, and I totally forgot. And then he was upset I didn't put his quote in my story.
Said Gavin Free of Achievement Hunter.
No.
Wait, let me see. Oh.
There's a double line of
couple
the
more
O's in the
O's.
second
There
one.
are a lot of O's.
Yeah, it wraps around to a second line.
It does. It's
Maybe
the
if you
second
turned it,
line of
I don't know. You think landscape versus portrait would have made a difference? Maybe even a single line?
But in the end, that all adds up to what's coming out this holiday. Let's find out.
Fallout. Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah, the thing that's still coming out. We have the counter.
Go.
Fallout counter, activate.
Yeah. Yeah.
48 days.
Remember when we were over 100? Time moves.
It's really
So quickly.
just rolling on. And 31, 30, 29 seconds.
Just start counting down from now.
All right, so we'll also have Halo. We will have, oh goodness, where is video game release schedule? Here we go.
I'm still really upset about XCOM getting pushed. XCOM 2. I started playing through, I went back
That's February now, right?
Yeah. I started playing the original. Actually, I didn't play the original. I played the Enemy Within, the most recent kind of expansion that sort of readdressed the entire original campaign, adding in a bunch of different options like cybernetics and a different kind of like implants and things like that you can modify your soldiers with. I got almost all the way up to the end. Yeah, no, it's good. And now I've kind of lost interest in it again because I was kind of gearing up to play the sequel, and now it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just wait a little while.
We'll play Fallout 3 because that'll keep you busy enough.
That would die. Man, I don't know where I'd have time to play Fallout 3 right now.
Would you recommend 3, then New Vegas, then 4, just to like really, really, really get in the world?
There's a lot of people that are really pro New Vegas, but I think you could probably just skip it. I mean, there's a lot of DLC for Fallout 3 that probably is more enjoyable than the New Vegas.
One of the things I hear about Fallout 3 is that it, hands down, is probably the strongest DLC lineup of any game.
Absolutely.
Like just every single, and a lot of this is expansions, DLC, call it what you like, but they are of a size and a quality that is unrivaled by any other game, including, by the way, Skyrim. Wasn't a huge fan of that DLC.
Yeah, no, they went out of their way to make not just DLC that added content in terms of physical object or digital objects, but really adding storylines and quest lines and things that really modified.
Makes it still trying to get that.
Excuse me. I have one more line. I was like, man, I wonder if they're going to call me out before I get to this last line. I got it.
There's things that, like the Mothership Zeta, which added a bunch of new weapons, and then the whole alien ideas, and then the new areas like the Pit and Operation Anchorage. I mean, just new places to go, new storylines, more of what you wanted. So it's one of the best supported DLC games I can think of.
Yeah. But in contrast, a lot of people also think that as a standalone game, New Vegas is better.
Which I'm not the plot was all right. It didn't really blow me away. It felt in a lot of ways almost like the last big DLC for Fallout 3, because it was essentially the same engine. It was just a whole new area, which was a big, giant area, but it didn't necessarily feel as developed to me as Fallout 3's world did. Maybe it's just because at that point I'd played all the way through Fallout 3, played through a lot of the DLCs, and then by the time I got to Fallout New Vegas, I was just kind of done with walking around the waste randomly finding new stories.
So you feel like did you not take a long break between them?
I don't think I took a long enough break. I think I went from one to the other so quickly that I lost some of the interest in just the random. And that's really one of the best things about those games is just the random stuff you find that is the world building that they have in them that you just have to locate. You stumble on, and then that's part of your story. And I didn't do enough of that in New Vegas, and I think maybe that's on me. So maybe I should go revisit it.
It's not them, it's me.
I don't know. It's not you, Fallout New Vegas. It's me. But maybe it's you. I don't know.
Do you feel like the different developer had a really big impact on how the game felt for you?
It had very similar aesthetic. I mean, obviously, in the same engine, and the interactions with characters felt about the same. So no, I'd say it wasn't dramatically different, unless maybe the lack of that extra stuff. Maybe it really isn't there, and I just didn't miss it, and I just didn't encounter it. So I thought it was fine. I mean, it was a good game. I was so Fallout weary of the same style of mechanics and everything. It didn't change maybe enough to make it a unique title that I really wanted to live in as long as I was in Fallout 3.
One of the things I like about what Fallout 4 is doing with their season pass is, and it's weird too, because I've got after games for this exact thing before, where they go, we're gonna have a season pass, we don't know what it is yet.
BioShock Infinite did that.
Yes, and it's like, well, then don't. What are you doing? Because and what it comes down to is, great, I will not buy it until I have some idea what it is, which is fine because I don't have to. But they go, we're gonna have a season pass. Don't know what's in it.
Trust us, you'll love it.
Yeah,
right. And on BioShock Infinite, kind of a bad idea.
Not true.
No. The last one, like the 2-part story was great.
Yeah.
But the first one that was just like the combat arena.
Yeah, it was like battle in the clouds or clash in the clouds or something.
That one was.
I still don't.
It felt like busy work.
I didn't feel bad about it at all. I enjoyed the fact that they didn't begin development on it until BioShock Infinite was released, because then it didn't feel like I was paying for something that I should have been given up front.
Right. I do.
They didn't hitman you?
Yeah, they didn't hitman me. Ken Levine would never hitman me.
I like that. I like that it came after they focused on the game and completed it. It just seems like that particular DLC made me think that I was like, oh, great, they don't know. Like, they committed to doing 3, they don't know what to do. But I like that with this Fallout, when they go, we don't know what it's going to be yet because we're going to finish the game and then we'll make some new stuff. It's that same sort of thing, like, better make it good. But on the bright side, they have a track record of making amazing Fallout DLC, so I'm kind of on board with it. I'm much more on board than I would be otherwise. Still not going to buy it until I have an idea what it actually is, but it's there.
I mean, the same thing could have been said for BioShock Infinite. You would have thought that the company that made BioShock and BioShock Infinite, and we'll not mention the one in between.
Yeah, I got in trouble for that too.
Although I heard the Minerva's Den.
Minerva's Den is apparently like the saving grace of BioShock.
I have not ever played it. I need to. Yeah. But before we go on with that,
played any of the BioShocks?
No, I played one.
Oh, you just meant Minerva's Den. Okay.
Yeah, when I played BioShock 1, I skipped over 2 because I heard unanimously that it was not good. And I had honestly, they lost me with the idea of being a big daddy. I had no interest in
I'm like
doing
walking
that.
around
Yeah,
on
I
the
didn't
scene,
have
and
a lot
I'm
of
like,
fun with
I'm
that
done.
either.
That's from the premise. I was just, that didn't do it.
We have more to talk about with 2K when you're done with your
Hold on just a second. All right. We want to thank our sponsor, lynda.com/thepatch, the online learning platform with over 3,800 on-demand video courses to help you strengthen your business, technology, and creative skills. For a free 10-day trial, visit lynda.com/thepatch. Lynda.com is for problem solvers, for the curious, for people who want to make things happen. Maybe you want to master Excel, learn negotiation tactics, build a website to boost your Photoshop skills. Go to lynda.com/thepatch and feed your curious mind. Some of the courses we recommend are Photoshop, Premiere. They have a bunch of great things for 3D application developers and as well as just regular app developers. With a lynda.com membership, you can stream thousands of video courses on demand and learn on your own schedule. Your lynda.com membership will give you unlimited access to training on hundreds of topics, all for one flat fee. Whether you're looking to become an expert, you're passionate about a hobby, or you want to learn something new, go to lynda.com/thepatch now and sign up for your free 10-day trial. That's lynda.com/thepatch. Be sure to use that URL so they know that we sent you. All right, what do you got for me on 2K?
So, speaking of 2K and BioShock in particular, we had 2 retailer leaks this week.
Ooh.
The first was from a South African retailer, Raru?
Raru?
R-A-R-U.
That sounds like something Scooby would say.
R-A-R-U. You say that how you will.
That's probably some deep cultural thing,
I'm
and I just
sure,
insulted
yeah,
an
no, I
entire
have
country.
no
I'm sorry
idea.
to any Raruns out there.
Anyway, they leaked a BioShock collection coming out for current gen consoles. Doesn't say what's in it. 2K has not commented. I still believe it's real.
Meg and I disagree on whether this collection is a good thing.
Discuss.
I don't like it. I was hoping that, like, now that we're getting backwards compatibility with the Xbox One and PS, PlayStation is going really hard with PlayStation Now for their backwards compatibility, that we would finally stop getting HD remasters and re-releases of games that we've already played and get more new stuff. I was hoping that that's what that meant, but now we're just trucking along with, here's all your old games again.
Well, I mean, a lot of this stuff had to have been in development already long before. Well, they may have gotten the notice that sort of thing was over the horizon, but or on the horizon, over the horizon.
Over horizon, it's
long
even further.
From now, yes.
Yeah.
At least a day away.
Yes.
So maybe this is just the tail end of the people that were already working on that sort of thing. That being said, I have the same curiosity, but at the same time, some of those games really look dated. Like if you tried to play them.
I agree with this point. I also say, wait a second, I lost my train of thought. Not being funny. I was literally just like, I'm ready to say the thing I have to say.
I got it.
I lost it.
What's my name again?
I hit my head sometime
Stop
ago.
using that as an excuse.
After I get my CT scan next week, I'll say it again.
Damn it.
Okay. Anyway, BioShock, yes. So obviously we want updated graphics, but the point I was going to make was 2K, now that Irrational is gone, RIP, the nicest thing 2K could do to BioShock fans is just release a remastered collection and leave it the fuck alone. Like, just walk away, hands up from BioShock. If Ken Levine doesn't have anything to do with it, I don't want that BioShock.
We will get more BioShocks.
I know, but I'm saying this is nicer to me than a new BioShock. I would much rather have a remastered. I already own all the games. I will still buy a remastered collection over a new BioShock.
I probably will too. I won't be happy about it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're saying there's nothing they could do to bring you to a new BioShock title now
I will,
with Ken Levine not involved?
I will play it, but
Okay.
let's be real. Like, I won't like it, but I'll do it. But BioShock Infinite,
I like the idea that we're playing and buying these games under protest. We're like, I'm gonna do it, but I don't have to be
It has
happy about it.
BioShock in the title. I have to play it, okay? We all know that.
BioShock Infinite wrapped up the story for me so well. It for a lot of people, and I understand their point, which is that it opened the universe for a myriad of other things, trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible. But I think it was, in its own openness, its own end. And I think that is a perfect trilogy of games, BioShock 2 included, for its own reasons. I think it did as well as it could do. It went out on a bang, and we leave that alone now. We don't keep making them after we say no more.
Do you really feel like there was a strong link between Infinite and back to original BioShock?
Absolutely. Did you finish Infinite?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's an incredibly strong link in the first and second games. Or in the first and third games.
There is in the one regard, but
Especially
It's a very big regard.
Especially once you play, was a burial at sea?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean and that ties in it as well. Yeah, it's really hard not to say things that are
Interesting.
spoilery, but
Interesting.
I don't necessarily feel like, well, maybe I need to go back and play one again, but those were in any way a contiguous story. I mean, it's just related stories
They're
from
all
a
tied
different
together.
Yeah, I didn't think
loosely.
In the larger universal if you haven't played BioShock Infinite, cover your ears for the next 30 seconds. There's always a man, there's always a lighthouse. We played that the first time.
Yes.
Now we're playing it again the third time.
Yes.
I think those are inextricably linked.
But
was there
that's
a man
the
in a
story,
lighthouse in
doesn't
the
it?
second one?
Huh?
Was there a man in a lighthouse in the second one? I
We're
don't remember.
redoing BioShock, or we're doing Rapture still in BioShock 2.
It's still in the same
it's still
world.
in the
Yeah,
same.
okay.
We didn't get like a new universe. So a lot of people think that you should get, great, we're going to do all these other crazy universes. And I'm like, let it go.
But I mean, come on, that's like they did that. Let's see, what was the name of that show? With well, I mean, there's Stargate. Like, what if they when Stargate the show? They just went to one world and they're like, well, that was it. We saw it. Or that Leaper. No, not the one with the
Hayden Christensen?
Yeah, no, it's the one with
Looper?
No.
Oh,
it was
Quantum
a show.
Leap?
No, not Quantum Leap was a good one, but that was actually still one universe. It was the one where they kept falling through wormholes that the guy built. It's an old show. No one will remember.
Donnie
It's okay.
Darko.
No, it was a TV show, not a movie. And it had that guy. Man, I'm pulling an Ashley. Okay.
All right.
It
I'm
had a
liking
guy
it.
that went on to be one of those long, and John Rhys Davies was the
You have
professor.
to finish the fucking sentences before you
Yeah,
can start
John Rhys
doing.
Davies was the professor that helped. His name was Quinn in the show, but I don't know what his
Dr. Quinn, medicine woman.
No. That could have been one of the leaps they took. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like wormhole. It was something. Okay, so and he developed a little device that let him jump
Okay.
into alternate universes, and they're trying to get back home because the device broke. You know.
Oh, Land of the Lost.
No. All I remember is jump.
Rodman Dune and the Flaming Sword of Fire.
Absolutely not. Not even a little.
She's on his IMDb, so at least she's now.
It's a TV show.
Revelations.
How
it's
old
an
is it?
old.
How old is
it's
it?
old. I mean, it's from like when I was a kid.
Scroll to like the
so we're
1960s.
going. Okay, hold on. Let me get down a couple of decades. Sliders.
Sliders. It was Sliders.
Nailed
All right.
it.
Because they slid from universe to universe.
Right. Never heard of it.
I don't remember where we started this.
BioShock.
Right. It's like they just went to one and then they're like, that's it.
But they didn't go to 1. They went to 2.
Oh.
And we actually, technically in the game, we go to 3.
Okay. We do.
Right?
Yep, you do.
So-
I could see. Let's see. Where would I set another BioShock? Inside a volcano. A volcano city could be cool.
Oh, so we've had like water and air. Now we need fire.
Right.
Ooh,
And then we need. How do you make Earth?
Yeah, let's do like a
interesting?
cave. Like I think it's almost like a Fallout style game. Like we're in a bunker. Boom.
You guys are selling this to me
Bunker.
right now. Now you want to play this game now, right?
Right?
Here's
I'd
where-
play bunker BioShock. Fuck yeah, I would.
Why not?
Here's where I think that it's possible to have more BioShock games because I agree that I did not like the story into it. That was where I just went, you did one philosophy, now you said, let's do the exact opposite and explore that a little bit. And I just went, bleh. But the gameplay was polished. It was very much improved over the original BioShock. So I do believe that 2K can take the basic gameplay and work and improve on that. They just need to be very, very careful with the story and the setting and do cool stuff with that. That's not like everyone liked Rapture. Let's do a Rapture.
My
gotta
feelings
be
about
new.
it though are that the gameplay might be polished, but for me, and I feel like for some BioShock fans at least, the story is the most important part of that world. Like the atmosphere and the world building are the most important things. Like BioShock Infinite had great gameplay, but I don't think about the gameplay at all when I think about BioShock Infinite. In fact, when I was doing this BioShock collection story, I was like, oh, there's a lot of battles in this game. Like I don't think of those. I think of
Almost
all the
all, yeah.
story elements over all of the gameplay elements. So those are the most important. And I think without Ken, you don't have those.
I think even less about, like the story is cool, but by the time I get to the end, I go, I don't even know what's happening right now. And like I have to go read a guide to figure out what the fuck just happened.
The Cliff Notes.
For me, a lot of it ends up being about the environment and exploring the super, super cool environment because they're always really great. Rapture was amazing. Columbia was amazing. It was Columbia, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just trying to make sure that I wasn't like completely
No. Yeah.
brain farting. Like those are really great environments to explore and do really cool stuff in. So if we can do that, that would be great. Also, not opposed to BioShock on the moon.
Ooh, I was just
fair
thinking
enough.
a space BioShock.
A
would be
movie
fun.
city.
Cool if it were like we made ourselves like a lunar city, some like in the 50s or something. Like 50s lunar city. But we're coming up with where's 2K?
Now we need
We
more
just pitched
BioShock.
a
Okay, we're
whole
ready.
set of games.
So before we
pitched
were
the
like,
next
no more
trilogy.
BioShocks. Now, more BioShocks.
BioShocks.
3 more BioShocks.
But I'm a little worried about if 2K is already developing a new BioShock, which we don't know if they are or not. Reason would say, of course, they are. A lot of Irrational, when they split or when they were forcibly folded, they all went and
Sounds
did
like
off their.
mean origami.
I know. Well, it was Ken Levine with like a swan, and then he just like smashed it into the ground and went off and did his own thing. But anyway, a lot of those people, there's a group now that's doing The Flame and the Flood, which is an independent game that is out and then, or is in beta-ish out. And then there's another group that tried to do the Black Glove, which failed on Kickstarter. They asked for a lot of money and did not get near enough. But it had a really cool environment. But I'm like, why aren't those people working at 2K
Maybe
making
they're
a new
back
BioShock?
there now because their
I
game
hope
didn't
so.
kickstart.
But the
They
Flame
had
and
to
the
go back
Flood
for the
people,
paycheck.
Yeah.
the Molasses Flood people, I think that's the name of the company. They're not back in 2K.
They're
so.
still kicking. This whole conversation really raises an interesting point, and that's I recently played Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, which is a very environment story-driven game where there is no action. And I really like. On paper, it sounds like the things like BioShock Infinite could hold up to that.
No, you need some.
Yeah, you kind of
need
do.
some.
You got to have something happening. You have to have some game to play.
I think that it helps the story. I mean, there's so many times in Elizabeth's transformation through BioShock Infinite in which the combat serves that transformation. I mean, when you're looking for the Vox Populi and then you find them and then what happens. I mean, that's like you fought all the way to get there and then it all goes down.
It's part of the stakes.
Right.
And something like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, which we've played, I think we did an hour and a half of.
That sounds like a lot for a game that has no action.
Man, it's a like I want to like that kind of thing. Like it's got the atmosphere. It's got kind of a weird like spooky vibe, but there's just it is just walking around. It's kind of like being at a museum playing that game. You just walk from plaque to plaque, learning about the people that lived in this house, and it's like something spooky happened there, but nothing actually spooky happens.
Well, that's how I feel about like Gone Home too. Like,
Yeah.
it was an experience, but I do not want to have it again.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I got to watch that. Well, I didn't even get to watch it go down. I
Right.
got to
You
read
got to read
about
it
when it went
happening.
down.
You got to read about someone else having an experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Which Until Dawn gets around by actually having a lot of intense moments, and you have to do button like quick time events and
QTs,
things like
yeah.
that. So that
But
gets
there's
away with
action,
it.
I think, in that game too.
There absolutely is, yeah. And you're actually controlling walking around and things like which you do that in Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, but it's just
By the
What
way,
do you
Twitter
got?
is furious with how long it took us to get sliders.
sliders.
My entire feed is just, God damn it, sliders.
I've been trying to bring up Twitter, and it's just not working on this iPad right now.
I dodged it. They didn't tweet me.
I'm just checking the
patch.
Oh, wait. Somebody said, I wonder how many
Hashtag
people
the
just said
patch.
sliders allowed at home.
There
Yep.
is
LMAO.
sliders, and that guy. What's his name? You know him from things.
hair dude.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What kind of... This looks like Wishbone. This is Wishbone-esque graphics.
God, what's that guy's name?
Was
His
Wow, that
brother
is
wrote it.
amazing.
Wishbone.
Now Twitter needs to tell me the guy's name. What? O'Donnell.
Jerry
Jerry
O'Connell.
O'Connell. There we go. Not Chris O'Donnell.
Chris O'Donnell.
Different guy.
Thank you.
Also known for his work in Stand By Me, Jerry Maguire,
Yes.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates,
Jake and the I missed that one. I don't
and he's
remember
the
that
voice
title.
of Shazam in Infinite Crisis. So there you go.
Shazam.
Oh, but that
Yes.
reminds me. It's because we're talking about voices. Did you hear the video game voice actors may be going on strike?
Indeedy.
So for what? Is
So-
this started by that guy that GTA 4?
No,
it's
I don't
not,
think so.
but-
It's SAG-AFTRA. So
SAG-AFTRA?
right. So
Yeah,
the
SAG
screen
is-
actors.
Stop SAG. No more. You don't need to add anything else to SAG.
well,
SAG
there's-
was already bad enough.
There
now
are
it's
different
SAG-AFTRA.
entities, though. There's SAG and SAG-AFTRA.
It's
Right.
a bad
They
acronym. You
merge.
just we'll make one that
AFTRA
doesn't
is-
sound like a bad pants style. All right?
Yeah. So
Speaking of
it's
pants,
it's a Screen
Hey,
Actors
now we've
Guild.
got nice pants.
no room to talk.
Are they good? Are they good? Are you wearing good
He's
pants
wearing his
now?
good ones, but he's still on pants probation.
You have
I
like
am.
one pair of pants, like one
No,
pair of
I
good
wouldn't
pants.
bought more.
Nice work.
Yeah, no, they're all loosely the same color, so you can't really tell. Thank you.
But so it's a Screen Actors Guild, which which merged with the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists. That's the AFTRA part, and they like they have new demands that they want for doing voice work in games, which is, I guess the proposal specifically says that they want bonuses for blockbuster games. So residual bonuses for at different sales milestones, like 2 million, 4 million, 6 million, and then peaking at 8 million. Seems reasonable enough, I guess. It's it's based on the performance of the game, but also because it's that 2 million is the bottom there. It protects indies to some degree from having to like pay out what they might not be able to afford and focuses more on the blockbusters. But they have some really weird demands. They want stunt pay for anything, like assuming if they have to like scream or something. I don't know, like anything that might endanger their voice. I guess voice stunts. Here's what gets me though, is they also want to forbid developers from being able to use their own employees in voice work unless they join SAG-AFTRA. Like, for example, Claptrap. Very, very well known, is the most iconic character in Borderlands, played by an employee of Gearbox.
I would say that sounds kind of ridiculous off the top, but my roommate in LA is a video game voice actor, and she directed the voices for for a couple Resident Evil titles, and Capcom routinely picks up girls who are just secretaries and then throws them in for voice work, and then those girls sit in the booth for hours upon hours upon hours because they cannot act, but they just have like a cute voice. And then the director, it's like upon the director to try and she said they'll literally take takes where it's like one word, and then that makes like the full take because it took so long to get it out of them. So like I understand that puts more strain on.
But isn't that just a poor decision on the part of the developers then? I mean, it should be yeah, go ahead, do that. You're screwing yourself, but you can do that.
Yeah, but they don't have to pay that person any sort of like acting scale whatsoever. Sure. They're just paying them their
which is good because they apparently can't act.
Yeah.
For big houses, yes, that's an awful thing to do. But if you're talking about a smaller developer where one team is doing everything, how much more does it cost them as an employee to then join SAG-AFTRA?
Well, you get to do SAG-AFTRA. You get to do 3 SAG gigs. That's my LA time in LA told me. You get to do 3 SAG gigs before you're forced to sign to SAG or not be in SAG forever. You have to make the choice or be banned forever. So I would assume that they would get their 3 freebies and then under those laws have to join SAG.
I feel that would be really bad for the indie crowd.
Could be.
Well, but then, may be able to have non-guild productions. Like there are non-guild productions for all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But it means that if you get anyone who's in SAG-AFTRA, like, for example, I'm going to just make this the broad assumption that people like Nolan North and Troy Baker, part of SAG-AFTRA. And that means if you get one of them, then everyone has to be in the guild.
By the way, if those two guys...
Isn't it like guild or not?
No, to be fair, it's guild or not. And if you are a SAG actor and you work on a non-SAG production, you are violating your contract with SAG. Like, you are not supposed to be doing. There are so many actors I know in LA who do like one-off YouTube vids or whatever, and they're like, please nobody tell SAG. Like that was like a running joke at Sourceford where I was like, don't tell SAG. So it was like a non-SAG production. So like you're not supposed to do that. So a Nolan North should not join a game that is not a SAG sanctioned project.
Right, which means that then, from that point, if you want to get any of the prominent voice actors in video games, that you then have to pay for guild actors for the entire cast. It's crazy.
Which is
like it's a pretty
how it already implications. Should be, yeah.
Well, on the one hand, yes, I can see how a lot of, and there's a whole sector of this that bears speaking of, where more and more actual performance captures going on, where their likeness and their performance, their physical performance, are being incorporated into the game as well, even if it's via mocap. So there's a whole zone there where I can see an argument for being more like a movie actor and should be treated as such. At the same time, games are making a lot of money. Not most of them are not making multi-blockbuster movie level money. And if they do, sometimes they've paid out a lot to get to that.
I would say, though, that it is shocking having personal experience with how much people get paid for the games. Like, I'm working on insert blockbuster title. I got $200 for my performance. Like, It is voice actors make pennies compared to on-screen actors.
That's not different from doing other things, though. Like
For voice work in general.
Yeah, I mean, voice work is just not
but
that
I'm saying
high
like
paying.
But if nowadays you look at like The Last of Us, where it was all their mocap, like their likeness and their voice, they are actors. Just because the medium is a little bit different, they should be paid the same. I also believe, are they still on interactive contracts? Do you know if that was?
I don't know.
Okay, because the interactive contracts.
I read up on it a little bit, but so much of it is very linguistic that I was like, brain shut down after a little while, but I tried to remember as much as I could.
Yeah, the interactive contract the last time I looked, because it's like what YouTube videos and stuff like that fall under as well, don't have any limits for like most SAG contracts are like you can only work so many hours before getting a lunch. You have to work like you have to have a break of a minimum number of hours, stuff like that. Like the interactive contracts have none of that. So potentially those voice actors, if they're on interactive contracts and if those haven't changed, could be not protected the way that they should be as well.
Well, here's the weird thing too, though, is like, let's say this strike happens and all the voice actors go on strike. We don't have access to Nolan North or Troy Baker or any of those actors, and so they do just start getting employees, putting them in games, and going, this is kind of easy. We just like they're available to us 100% of the time. So if we need a pickup or anything like that, we'll just grab them. Fuck it, and the game sales don't suffer. Could that backfire on SAG-AFTRA?
I mean, any strike has that risk. There are companies, though, that like Riot, for instance, a ton of their champions are voiced by employees. I would say a majority of those champions are voiced by employees. So a lot of companies do it, but I mean, like we saw with Dinklebot, apparently performance really, 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 really matters. And there's a lot of games where we were just talking about like the story part of it. Like you're not going to get that without a Troy Baker. You're not going to get a BioShock Infinite without a Troy Baker. So
yeah,
you're going to need
or
it.
Last of Us. Yeah, they're very character-driven ones. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me read this. This episode of The Patch is brought to you by Casper. We're excited to welcome a new advertiser, Casper. They've been with us a couple times before, but it is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the cost. Casper is revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with resellers and showrooms and passing that savings directly to the consumer. Benefits of Casper: 2 technologies, latex and memory foam. They can be for other fun things too, but come together for better nights and brighter days. A Casper mattress provides long-lasting comfort and support. You can buy it easily online and completely risk-free. Try sleeping on a Casper mattress. Casper understands the importance of truly trying out a mattress that in all reality you spend a third of your life on. Casper offers free delivery and painless returns within a 100-day period. So you don't have to lay down in the showroom. And did you know, statistically, you don't want to lay down in a showroom. You don't know who's been there before you. You don't know what employee's been there before you. You know what I mean? Wink,
Probably
wink.
doing voices on that bed.
Say no more. And did you know, statistically, lying on a bed in a showroom has no correlation to whether it is the right bed for you. Casper's mattresses are made in the USA. Get a Casper mattress for $500 for a twin or $950 for a king-sized mattress. Comparing this to industry averages, that's an outstanding price point. You can save an additional $50 as one of our audience members by going to casper.com/patch and entering the promo code PATCH. That's casper.com/patch, no the, and promo code PATCH. So thank you to Casper.
One of the tweets that just came in was a question I was going to ask, so I'm glad this person answered it before I even asked. The stunt pay is actually for when they have to do motion capture.
Oh, okay,
that makes sense. Yeah.
I also consider those people to be more than voice actors, by the way.
As well, yeah, most of their like main income, like a Nolan North, Troy Baker. Stephanie's even done motion capture for a lot of the stuff that she does. A lot of voice actors nowadays do both, so that they can emote into the performance. I do want to point out this tweet, which is at Braden McDiarmy. I hope I fucked up your name because your tweet is shitty.
Wow.
Whoa.
Nobody buys a video game for the voice actor, and they also do the least amount of work. Why do you think they should get more? When did you get a voice acting pay stub? Why do you have any idea how much they make?
It is a weird argument because there are people that are not actors that could turn in a performance that's amazing and works perfectly for a character. So there's something to be said for not having to use a big name for those things. I mean, there's a lot of great characters in a lot of games you probably couldn't name the actor or actress and have probably never heard of them since.
Sure, but so then do a non-SAG production and get those actors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm still worried about the indie crowd because that's almost
sounds well like indie movies shoot non-SAG, like there's protections for that already. You don't have to, and any productions aren't getting a Nolan North. You know what I mean?
True.
Like You don't have
Well,
to
they
use
definitely
SAG
won't
actors.
if they do this.
Well,
Well, they
use
definitely
SAG
won't
actors.
if they do this.
Well, potentially, I don't know their particular contracts, but they should probably already not be getting a Nolan North if their rules apply the way they do
Maybe
to
he
actors.
wants to go do that.
You're not supposed to do. That's the whole point of being in a union is that you don't do non-union gigs.
Look, unions are good and unions are bad. Like there's up union and there's down union.
I'm not
They limit
arguing for
things.
unions, all right? You're not
Tell me
having
more
union
about how
debate.
awesome the unions are, Meg.
great.
All right.
All right, you know what? I didn't join SAG.
I'll just be over here.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a strong feeling either way. Like I've worked for the IATSE, which is the theater union, the backstage part of it, which as an employee was good because they went. I did like one gig that was an overnight. It was a loadout for Blues Traveler.
Oh, that's cool. You were a roadie.
I was sort of a roadie. Well, I did more of the stage. I didn't actually get to touch any of the musical equipment. But so we
Did you
got the
anyway?
set-
Just you walk up when no one's watching you go?
God no. That's that's part of the thing, because so we got the stage loaded in, and then the good thing as an employee was at the end of the night when we had to break it all down. It was like after midnight, and it was a weekend, so it was like double pay, triple pay, quadruple pay. It was like great for that. But the downside was things like put that down immediately. You're on break. If you touch that again until your break is over, you're fired.
Right.
And never allowed to come
You have
back.
to take your 30 full minutes for lunch.
Yes.
You have to like adhere to breaks, and you've worked for 8 hours. You have to leave.
They are as aggressive and I'm not even sure the right word, but it's very almost it feels mean spirited when you're in that situation where the letter of the law must be adhered to immaculately, or you are terminated and will never be allowed to return.
They're sticklers. I think that comes from, and I really don't have strong feelings. I do have strong feelings for voice actors for video games just because I know so many of them, and I think that they work really hard and should be paid equally to other actors. But I think the spirit that comes from is if we flex, then we'll keep flexing, and then we'll lose all of the ground that we fought for to make sure we got these breaks or we got this lunch or whatever. But I do agree. I've definitely been on sets where it's like, we have to go to lunch right now, and nobody can touch anything for the next 30 minutes. It's like, I just need my no. You know what I mean? And that sucks. But I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle lies a happiness, I think.
Yeah, but that's, what's the problem with humanity? We never really get to that middle part, do we?
Let's just talk about
Let's
humanity.
get deep, huh? How are you? Yeah? How's humanity?
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
We don't even need language, you and I.
How's humanity treating you today? So, voice actors, yeah, go get a job.
Yeah, go get a job. Braden says get a job.
I do find it interesting though for voice actors. Obviously not like the performance stuff is very, very different. But if you're just in the booth doing voice specifically, how quickly that can go. Like I remember hearing that the voice of, I think it's Princess Peach. She can knock out an entire Nintendo game in an afternoon.
That's bad for her.
So in spite of being, one of the most recognizable characters in all of video games, it's worth nothing.
Because you get paid by the hour.
For income.
Right, yeah, it's usually an hourly payout.
Yeah.
So I can see where it's tough from that kind of standpoint.
Well, but she would benefit from this newly proposed thing where, they're going to sell millions upon millions upon millions of copies, and then she's going to get paid more than her afternoon of work.
Sure.
Or she doesn't, yeah. I mean,
or it doesn't happen. I don't know.
It's one of those complicated issues that it's just really hard to wrap your brain around, because there are pros and cons to both sides that are so profound that it's. I mean, I being we do voice acting here, and I'm more pro on the side of actors and voice actors, but there's a lot of people that work on various productions that are unrecognized or uncompensated, like writers. And I mean, you never hear.
We are talking video games.
Well, you never hear about writers striking? Is that what you're about to say?
No, the writers definitely did
they
strike.
definitely fully striked.
You don't hear about, writers for video games, though. I mean, they're definitely not getting their due. I'm pretty sure.
We hear about them when they leave.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, what is the
BioWare?
lady? Thank you. Lady from BioWare, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Nancy something. Not Nancy. I don't remember her name. I tried.
I think you're thinking of the Naughty Dog lady.
Yes, I am thinking.
Yeah, who's now working at Visceral on Star Wars. Amy Fennig?
Amy.
And there's
That's close to Nancy. Sorry,
you were
Amy.
so close, Amy, Nancy. I mean,
Voice actor's gonna be like, check out this girl supporting us. She got that girl's name wrong. Don't watch her. Turn it off.
You could also argue that the person that is the animator on that is equally as responsible, assuming it's not a performance captured, but is equally as responsible for the physicality and the action delivery of the lines, and will also not be seeing any benefit of that. So
Right. I mean, developers just as a general rule go through crunch
yeah,
where they work so much and so hard, so crazy, but they don't have a guild to make everyone stop.
But then they had a court case, right, from EA when EA got in a huge amount of trouble for forcing their developers to work unfair hours. And now EA has a cereal bar and a ball pit. And please don't sue us anymore.
we love our employees.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. But those protections should be there for everyone.
They should be. It's just, it's what when you're going into certain realms of job.
Yeah.
That's your compensation is going to be thus.
Yeah.
And if you do some things because you love it more so than because you think that you're going to be rich and famous.
Well, sure, but I can't speak for it because I'm honestly not part of it and I haven't researched it that much. But I don't think this voice actor thing comes from we need to be rich and famous. It's more of we help make these games and we should be compensated as thus.
Yeah.
That's true. Although it also depends. I do feel bad for people in a guild occasionally when they go, wait, we have to do what? And they're not in on the decision whatsoever. The guild tells them what they have to do, and then you're part of the guild. You do it.
It's like being in an HOA. It's you no longer have a lot of freedoms that you would ordinarily have.
You have 6 brick types to choose from. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It's no, this is your option, the one option. So pick it or leave.
You remember that X-Files episode where there was the HOA monster?
Is that when the sliders came in and then
It was a real X-Files episode.
Was there an HOA?
Yeah.
Wow.
Whenever there's a guy whose light bulb goes out and then a monster eats him.
Because he wasn't not
guys.
adhering to the
Look it
HOA?
up. Yes, because
nice.
you can't have a light bulb out.
I'm so happy that show's coming back.
I know.
Yeah?
I missed it. I was busy watching Xena.
Oh, Xena's also potentially coming back.
I don't know how I feel
Really?
about that either. I know. I'm going to say no. I don't. I loved Xena, and I thought it was amazing, and I don't want to see it come back.
Lucy Lawless, I'll watch her do anything. She's awesome.
She was so great in Battlestar Galactica, can I just say?
She was pretty great in, she was just in that Roman show.
Spartacus, Blood
Spartacus.
on the Sand.
Though she didn't, yeah.
She gets so naked and she wears a merkin.
She gets super
She's
naked.
really good in that show. That show
She
is
is
so
really good.
good.
You hate her so much.
She's so good.
She's good at being hateable.
She is.
She wasn't
And
that
she's
hateable.
also-
She
but
was
she's
so-
so hot.
she's
As
like-
pretty
Xena, she
hot.
was kind of bossy and shitty sometimes.
Yeah.
But she can be hateable and relatable.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Rehateable.
Relatable.
I like it.
That's a new word for on the spot, from the Urban Dictionary. Nobody telling you about what rehateable is.
Rehateable.
That'd be a great way to see
Subscript
who
Lucy
watches our
Lawless.
content, is to just put that on the spot and see if any of the people on the spot watch
God,
the
no.
patch.
No, they wouldn't.
Nah.
Yeah, that's out.
No one will get it.
Don't do it one week when I'm not on it.
Well,
No,
when you're on it, you just answer Lucy Lawless, and
Oh,
you will be
absolutely.
right.
Lucy Flawless, am I right?
Hey,
She's pretty great.
she is pretty great.
Spartacus is such a good show. Oh man, thanks for reminding me.
I haven't seen the last couple seasons of it because the main actor
Andy
unfortunately
Whitfield died,
got
yeah.
cancer and then passed away, which was really sad. He was great in that show.
Such a beautiful man. They made a documentary about it.
Really?
Yes. Be here now.
Didn't make a game, unfortunately.
No.
Well, did they?
Well, welcome back to Screenplay. Talk about TVs and movies.
Ryan, have you got a chance to play more of Destiny?
I played a lot of Taken King. We've been really. It's funny because the whole premise of going forward with Taken King's leveling system was that they were getting rid of that whole concept of light is the only number that matters, and you become level 40 almost instantly, and then light is the only number that matters.
It's back to it. Hey, have you noticed any duplicate drops? There was a
You
big
mean as
problem.
in exotics?
Yeah.
Yes. I went and when Xur showed up, he had a helmet and a helmet Ingram, and I bought Insurmountable Skullfort and went and got the Ingram and decoded it, and it turned into Insurmountable Skullfort.
Apparently, if you decode Ingrams back to back, you're more likely to get the exact same thing. You have to space them out. And apparently, Bungie said they were taking care of it, and they're Taken King's not going to happen, but it is. So they're figuring
It was
out.
supposed to be that you had a greater weighting to things that you had never
Right.
unlocked.
Right.
Absolutely not true.
Right.
I will say, okay, so I played through the whole campaign at this point. They gave it a try.
Oh, really? Because I feel like so many people were like, no, it has a story.
It does. I mean, in the sense that you get there's a cutscene early, and then there's a couple little spiced in, and then this is what they did that really took it a little bit further than it ever had gone. Was one of the characters, one of the NPCs that you deal with, has so much more personality than they ever injected in the game before. I mean, the character that Cade 6, which is the character that Nathan Fillion plays. He really,
Sexy man.
he is a sexy man.
He's sexy.
He really finally, Castle's back, by the way.
My mom only calls him Castle, by the way.
But he actually talks to you and goes with you when he doesn't actually show up in the gameplay, but he's there. It's one of those weird things where he's like,
that's weird.
we're all going to go on the mission together, and then you're fighting, and he's nowhere to be found. He's doing something important somewhere, I'm
Right,
sure.
the fighting starts and he just goes, "Smoke."
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he comes back at the end like, "What's up, guys? Let's save the day."
Killed it.
It's an odd thing to say that they really humanized that character because he's a robot, but they finally have a personality focal point where the closest you came was Dinklebot, who he never really had a conversation with Dinklebot. There was no back and forth.
What about
He
Nolan?
was a provider of information.
Nolan Bot.
Is he growing on you?
It's really I think just the dialogue that he has is mostly background dialogue. It gives you a little bit of supporting stuff. It's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Thanks, man. I mean, he fades sort of into that general narrative background where he doesn't really ever have to say a whole lot that's super interesting. It's kind of just like factual. It's like the docent of a church is following you around saying, oh yeah, that's where we have the remains of Saint Mary. Yep, that's where she is.
So he's a tour guide.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, Gab said it made him realize more the direction for Dinklebot. Like, he appreciated, like, it probably wasn't Dinklage's fault.
I really
He didn't feel like it was much better.
The problem wasn't that his voice acting was really bad. It was that he was given the entire responsibility of telling any story, and they also didn't give him any lines to do that.
Yeah.
So now there's a little bit more of that. They definitely have added a lot of missions. There's a huge quest system where even after you've completed the main quest line, there's a bunch of quests that lead to even more missions on the map. Most of those are much smaller. They're not like, there may be several steps spread across different missions, but like an individual mission may be land here, blow up that tank. All right, you're done. Back to space.
Do you feel like you're getting the story that you were promised?
They set up so much stuff with one. I call it one, I guess, prime, unoriginal, original. That it just disappeared. Like there's this stranger that maybe came from the future that gives you this cool gun, and she disappears at the end of the game, and then that's it. Like there's no development or follow up on who that was. No one's curious about anything in the original, and that's what bugged the crap out of me. Is your character didn't give a shit about the world that he found himself in, never asked a question.
He just woke up and was like, "Oh, so this is what we're doing today."
So this is all right. So this is the world. All right. Oh, hi, future lady. Cool. Thanks for the gun. Like, just ask a question. Tell me something, and they tell you a few things now. So they've sort of addressed that, and that's what the sort of slot that Nathan Fillion's character plays is. He's the one that actually guides you and gives you things to do and tells you why you're doing them, not just go do it. But it's still very text reliant on terms of the story. They tried. It's there a little. It's a fun game for what it was, but it's still very much what it was. You still are going and getting gear, and just it's a grind to find weapons. What they did do that's very nice is because of the new infusion system, all the blue crap that you used to get is now useful to some degree. If you get something that's good, you're still waiting for a good blue drop, and they drop a lot more of it. So at least you're getting stuff constantly, even if most of it's useless.
Sweet. So if you like Destiny, it's an improvement on Destiny.
Yes, if you like Destiny, then it is a great improvement of the Destiny system. And I will also give him credit for in the Vanguard playlist, there's a special playlist for the strikes on a harder difficulty. Some of those, I think it's a random chance that you will get a different version of it that replaces the new bad guys with the old ones in some situations. So if you play one of those old strikes you've probably played 1,000 times when you're grinding before, you may now get a new experience if you play it on hard. So that's good. You may. Mm-hmm. I've played sometimes and gotten the original experience, but I don't know if maybe some strikes weren't updated and some were.
All right, I think we have to wrap up.
Yeah,
right?
we do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Blink and it's over.
Did we actually ran out of sand? That's how you know we're really over. And the patch thing is full. It's about to turn off.
No, don't turn off patch thing.
Well, that's why we got to wrap up, because otherwise it will. So thank you very much for joining us.
There's no Patch Game Club after this today.
Yes.
But we're going to be back next week.
Yep, we're reworking some of our broadcast stuff because our studio is so busy now.
Yeah, it's getting hard to squeeze it in there. So, but we will be next week. It will be Hotline Miami. Still, yeah, we won't yet have done it. So join us then, and thank you very much. See you next time.